Another thing I usually talk about, and I'm a little bit of a fanatic about, is the quality of water. And not just that you're filtering it, that you're structuring it. Have you ever used, because I know I've talked to Anjanette, who owns Gem Water, on the podcast before, and you basically just have gemstones in a water, beaker sort. So have you ever utilized that? Because I know light can, of course, impact water. Have you ever shined, the Solar Gem on water and structured it without getting into like flash freezing a moto work, but anecdotally?
Oh, absolutely. I've been doing that for years with the Crystal Fusion light, and it's remarkable. And in fact, you can go beyond that and run it on wine or really anything. In fact, if you put something in the water, because some people have trouble really sensing water or tasting it, even though it's the more your palate's refined, you can definitely tell. But if you have a pretty good water to start with, it's hard to tell sometimes how much. But if you take wine, you'll actually see it age the wine 2 or 3 years. I had a sommelier a few years ago tell me that I'd aged this wine 2 years and 20 minutes. So yes, it definitely will do that. And you can take those spinners, that's the little magnet things. And I remember one time, this was with an older system before I had the Solar Gem, but I was at a conference and there was a guy there that I was spinning he had a spinner, and I started shining this in, and it was just taking the energy so high that one of the gentlemen there actually started crying. It's, I don't know why I'm crying, but drinking this tears started coming out of his eyes. It was amazing, the energy level that we could, by combining the spinning with the energy. It was just...
I mean, that's a big part of it, right? The vortex you're creating within that, right? And that's what people miss again when they just look at water as water. Some try to see it only as an H2O and get rid of all impurities, which is fine. We don't want impurities or toxins in our water. It's the reason I can't stand that restaurants still offer tap water in many senses. But even if they were to do that, let's talk about that, because that's an interesting one that I've had some discussions with. If you take water with some maybe fluoride impurities, just minor, just like tap water, and you were to shine, Solar Gem and start to structure it, you're improving that quality, correct?
Yes. Because the structure, as I understand it, actually kind of protects you from the impurities in the water. So even though you're going to still take them in, it kind of encapsulates them and allows your body, again, to handle them better. Because your body has to structure the water to use it. I tell people it's like checking into an Airbnb and they haven't made up the room. You don't want to touch anything until you clean the whole place up. And your body's that way. You give it bad water, it's like, I can't do anything with this. I don't want this. So I've got to work to make it usable. So that's why giving your body the pure water up front is such a smart thing to do.
Absolutely. And again, we are 70%, 99% molecularly, we are water. And, oftentimes we put in this kind of, junk water, I would say, that really doesn't help us too much, may possibly, hydrate us a little bit, but oftentimes it doesn't. It's not even usable in some ways.